Just bear with us, guys. We're just gonna wait for people to come in. Right. Let's get the show on the road. And hi, welcome to Review Geek 3000. You're here for one reason only, and that is to eat, sleep, wrestling, repeat, to watch exclusive content. So please like, subscribe, smash that notification bell, and as always on this channel, stay awesome. And again, guys, welcome to the show. And if you enjoy what we do on this channel, then please subscribe. We are back with FastLane. And again, guys, this is the Contenders Corner podcast, and we are back with a FastLane review, results, overlook, and grades. We also will be doing on this episode, we will present the top 5 superstars of the night, and we will also produce the superstar of the night. And again, guys, you can follow us on Instagram at the Geeky Collections on Instagram. We are at rgeek3000 on Twitter. We are Review Geek 3000 on YouTube. And again, we have a Facebook page, and please support us on there. And that is Review Geek 3000 on Facebook. You can contact us, and we'll enjoy hearing from you guys. Subscribe to our channel. Support us, guys. Join the awesome community. And again, guys, our schedule 414 is the Contenders Corner every week, guys, on YouTube and Film Parade. We do that on a weekly basis, and also on this channel, guys, we do our gaming streams. When we are big and better, guys, we will be doing monthly giveaways. And again, we also dropped on this channel, guys, a few weeks ago, the Contenders Corner Revolution results, after show and rundown. We also did an episode based on Mick Foley. We also did a SmackDown and Raw review, so please check that out as well. We also did a AEW Revolution predictions on our SmackDown episode. But this is where it all begins, and welcome to Review Geek 3000 on YouTube. And this is the Contenders Corner podcast, and your host today is Jason. Yes, guys, I am Jason on the Contenders Corner, and this is our FastLane episode. So again, guys, we start off the bat, and that is the United States Championship. Matt Riddle versus Mustafa Ali. And again, Retribution was, of course, at ringside in support of Ali for the match. After a fast start for Riddle, Ali countered a senton with a kick to the neck, putting the champ on the defensive. Or Ali continued to work over the neck and shoulder area of Riddle, but Ali tweaked his own knee in a flurry of offense. Riddle exploded with a big chain of moves, including a powerbomb and a final flash knee strike, but Ali again countered Riddle's attempt to fly, getting his knees up to block a floating bro. After a series of counters from both men, a Koji clutch almost won the match for Ali. Riddle managed to escape before eventually hitting Bro Derek from the second rope to retain his title. One of the better kickoff matches in recent memory, with a real well thought out match that showed off the best of both men. After the match, Ali again ran down Retribution, but Reckoning walked off, followed by Slapjack T-Bar. and Mace, and they all laid out Ali with a double team choke bomb, which was absolutely fantastic to see from Retribution there, taking their back, closing their back on Ali. The winner of this match is Matt Riddle, and he retained the title here. We'll give this a Contenders Corner match rating of 3.5 out of 5. And then we go for the Women's Tag Team Championship. Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler versus Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks. The champions had trouble getting on the same page, arguing early with Jax, even tagging herself in when Baszler had an early advantage. Jax and Baszler started to get rolling once it became clear that Banks and Belair were willing to work as a team. Belair hit a 450 splash on Baszler, but Reginald jumped on the ring apron to provide a distraction. Banks locked Baszler in the bank statement moments later, and Belair jumped in the ring to keep Jax from breaking the hold. But Jax threw Belair backward onto Banks. Banks and Belair argued, allowing Baszler to roll up Banks for the pin to retain the titles. Banks and Belair continued to argue after the match about who was at fault for the loss before Banks delivered a slap and stormed off. There's just nothing good about the build WWE is doing to a money match between Belair and Banks at WrestleMania. Neither women has been given the slightest bit of showing for weeks, and neither looks particularly smart or strong through the whole program so far. Again, Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler defeated Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks via pinfall to retain the titles. We'll give this a 3 out of 5. But again, that was awesome to see, guys. The 450 splash. That was absolutely awesome from Belair. And then we have the Intercontinental Championship, Big E versus Apollo Crews. The match started with an immediate brawl before Big E hit his spear through the ropes to the floor. E continued to dominate Crews, hitting several splashes on the ring apron before throwing the challenger around the ring with suplexes until Crews finally went low with a drop kick to the knee of the champion. E's aggression led to more openings for Crews before a confusing ending with some pinfall reversals before E had Crews' shoulder down to score the pin and retain the title. Crews snapped after the match, beating down Big E with several deliveries of his variation of the Olympic Slam before standing over the champion. This match needed more time and a better finish, guys, or at least a better camera angle to live up to its potential. Again, the match felt like it was short-lived. I personally believe it should have been a longer match. It was a good match. It was exciting, guys. It was exciting. But its full potential was taken away here. I think it just needed a bit more time. A bit more time. And a better finish as well, guys. Again, Braun Strowman versus Elias. This was supposed to be Strowman versus Shane McMahon, but McMahon suffered a knee injury in training before the show, leading to Elias as a replacement. Strowman was able to repeatedly fend off the involvement of Jackson Ryder outside the ring. Finally, Riker was able to provide enough distraction to allow Elias to hit a chop block and an elbow drop off the top rope. Strowman was able to kick out and hit the running power slam for the win moments later. This was a throwaway match that only served to drag out the issues between Strowman and McMahon, and there's nothing good about that. Again, guys, this should have been a Shane McMahon. This should have been a Shane McMahon and Braun Strowman bout. But again, guys, we had here Elias replacement. The Shane McMahon and Strowman segments have been stupid at best. I don't like what they're bringing to the table. Strowman is a much better wrestler. He doesn't need to give over or bring over Shane McMahon. He deserves a lot better. He deserves a lot better, guys. I want to see better from Braun Strowman. I don't want him putting over Shane McMahon or Shane McMahon putting off Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman doesn't need to be put over by Shane McMahon. But again, it was good to see an enraged Braun Strowman take his frustrations out on Shane. Well, out on Elias. But then we have Seth Rollins versus Shinsuke Nakamura. And again, guys, Rollins was all over Nakamura from the jump, taking the fight to him both inside and outside the ring. Rollins began taunting Nakamura and turning his focus to the 22 times Cesaro swung him on SmackDown weeks ago. Rollins tried for a swing of his own, but Nakamura countered to an armbar. That moment got Nakamura back in the match, and he and Rollins began trading offensive flurries. Nakamura seemed ready to end things with a Kinshasa, but Rollins countered with an elbow to the back of the neck, followed by a kick to the same spot. This left Nakamura prone, and he ate the stump for the finish. This match wasn't as good as it could have been, but was perfectly fine, especially given the weak string of matches that came before. Seth Rollins defeats Shinsuke Nakamura via pinfall. I'll give this a 3.6 out of 5. And then we go into one of the better matches of the night, guys, and that was Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus in a no-holds-barred match. It took little time after the brawling started for the action to spill outside the ring and a variety of weapons to come out from under the ring. A pile of kendo sticks were among the plunder, and Sheamus was quick to use them to the mark up the front and back of McIntyre's torso. McIntyre returned the favour, taking things one step further to the extreme by driving the end of the stick into Sheamus' eye. With the brutality continuing, the fight began to move through the Thunderdome, leaving the ringside area and heading into the stands with the LED screens before McIntyre threw Sheamus through a set of the screens. McIntyre tried to return Sheamus to the ring where he could score the pin, but Sheamus knocked him over the ringside barricade with a brogue kick and hit the white noise through the announce table. McIntyre was able to come back with a future shock DDT and a Claymore to score the win. This was the first truly good match of the main show. McIntyre and Sheamus have a trust in each other to put on a brutal match that is never truly dangerous beyond the story they're telling. And it has made everything they've done in recent months truly click. Again, guys, from their segments on Raw, their matches beforehand were fantastic. Sheamus had a massive match last week. Again, he produced another good match here. A -A grade, some people are calling this, but no, guys, I'm going to give this a 4.2. It was an A grade match. Fantastic. There was exploding LED screens at the WWE Thunderdome. Fantastic. No holds bar match. This is what I want to see in a no holds bar match, guys. Some crazy action, some brutality, extreme action. That's what I want to see. Non-stop extreme. And this is probably what we're seeing here. And again, Drew McIntyre and Sheamus have produced a fantastic match here tonight. Well, last night. And it was absolutely done to perfection. So I want to give this a 4.2 out of 5 here on the Contenders Corner. And then we have Randy Orton versus Alexa Bliss. Before the match, Orton once again vomited the black goo. Orton tried to attack once the match began, but Bliss moved out of the way, sending him crashing shoulder first into the ring post. Lights then fell from the rigging, nearly hitting Orton while Bliss laughed. Bliss taunted Orton to get back in the ring, shooting a fireball at him. A flurry of fireballs at him after he did so. A burned hand emerged from a hole in the ring, grabbing Orton's ankle before the Fiend came through the canvas. Bliss shoved Orton forward into the Fiend, and then the Fiend hit the Sister Abigail. The Sister Abigail to cover for Alexa Bliss to cover for the 3 count. The match, like the entire Orton vs Fiend angle, will largely come down to the personal taste. And again, guys, if you enjoyed this match, then again, you will enjoy it. I personally enjoyed this match. I thought it was really good. This obviously brought in the Alexa Bliss and Randy Orton story segments that we saw in recent weeks with her. He reminisced the recent storytelling from both of them, as we saw fireballs, we saw the black goo, and again we saw the re-emerged Fiend. The Fiend is back. The Fiend is back. Back for vengeance on Randy Orton. And again, Alexa Bliss defeats Randy Orton via pinfall. We'll give this a 3.5 out of 5. Again, no, I'm going to give this a 4 out of 5, guys. I thought it was really good. The segment was reminiscing everything from the past between Alexa Bliss and Randy Orton. It was done to perfection. It was fantastic, guys. I enjoyed it. But the Fiend is back. The Fiend is back. We'll go more over this in a bit on the Fiend. But the Universal Championship is on the line. Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan. Bryan was almost playful early on, trying to show Reigns that he couldn't keep up with the challenger on a hold-for-hold basis. He proved that point right through the early stages, getting in Reigns' head with takedowns and holds before throwing jabs to the body and leg kicks while dodging out of the way. Reigns tried for a headlock takedown but was caught in a submission, finally having to resort to throwing a headbutt but was caught in a submission. Finally having to resort to throwing a headbutt to take over on offense. Reigns' power was eventually able to allow him to take over the match as Edge paced around ringside after taking a prolonged beating. Bryan was finally able to get his offense firing again after a series of kicks, but an attempt at a Rana from the top rope was countered into a Boston Crab by Reigns. Bryan was able to fire back yet again, landing some offense outside the ring, and then a knee to the arm of Reigns. Attempting to soften him up for a yes lock, Reigns lost control and began attacking Bryan in the corner while ignoring the referee. But Bryan continued to fire back, hitting a Rana and then a pair of kicks to the head for a near fall. Bryan then landed a series of stumps to the face before rolling into a yes lock and re-securing the hold after Reigns nearly escaped. Reigns managed to break Bryan's grip and land a flurry of punches, leading to Bryan inadvertently taking out the referee with a running knee. Reigns hit a spear and an edge slid into the ring to make the count, but Bryan kicked out at 2. As Reigns argued with Edge and tried to attack Bryan, Bryan locked in a triangle choke before transitioning to a yes lock and landing crossface strikes. Jey Uso ran in and delivered a super kick to Edge and another super kick to Bryan before grabbing a steel chair from ringside, only to be hit with a Bryan running knee. Bryan went to hit Reigns with the chair, but Reigns moved, causing Bryan to hit Edge before being hit with a Superman punch. Bryan then countered a spear back into a yes lock. Reigns began tapping out, but Edge hit Bryan with the chair. Then did the same to Roman Reigns before storming off. A new referee came to the ring as Reigns crawled to cover before the victory. This was an outstanding match. There was outstanding stuff from both men. Daniel Bryan has a legitimate claim to being the greatest professional wrestler in history exactly because of matches like this, making both changes, both small and large, that completely alter a match with while remaining true to his established character. It seems clear he will be entered into the WrestleMania match with Edge and Reigns, and there's nothing bad about that at all, and I absolutely applaud that, guys. I would love to see Daniel Bryan, Roman Reigns and Edge in a triple threat match at WrestleMania. But again, what do you think about that, guys? What are your thoughts about Daniel Bryan, Roman Reigns, Edge at WrestleMania? Are you for that, guys? But again, the grade for this match, people have called this a grade A. I agree with this one. I will give this a 4.3 out of 5. And again, outstanding performance from both men. And Daniel Bryan, what a match. What technical wrestling he provided in this match. In ring, on the mat, on the floor of the mat, guys. Outside of the ring. Done to perfection, guys. Submission moves. That's what I like to see. I like to see a technical match, guys. Not just one or two moves here and there, and then the match is over. But again, we go back to here, and the Fiend emerged at FastLane. His return is here, guys. The Fiend is here. And what an attire that is, guys. He looks like a burned zombie, guys. Absolutely demonic as fuck. Unbelievable. Unbelievable, guys. How this seems to be here. Unbelievable. The Fiend is back. And again, we have been waiting for months now for the Fiend to return, and we got it here. And I absolutely enjoyed I enjoyed this pay-per-view, guys. And I was so long for waiting for the Fiend, and we got that here. There's like one eye normal, and then the other eye is just literally blind out. Like, giving off that vibe that the Fiend is blind in one eye. And, man, he looks more evil than the first one. Unbelievable, guys. It's demonic. Unbelievable. And again, you can tell here, guys, that Bray Wyatt has full control of his own character here. And again, you can just feel it on this show, guys. He has full creative here. And again, I hope that Vince and WWE Creative just stay away from the Fiend. Let him control his own character. He's in that area, that category of wrestlers that WWE should be able to trust with their own creative. And if they leave the Fiend alone, again, we'll see some massive things in the future. And again, I personally enjoy watching the Fiend. He's one of my favourite characters in there, in WWE, and it was good to see the impressive Bray Wyatt return at FastLane. But again, guys, we're as promised here. We present here our top 5 wrestlers on the pay-per-view. And we'll start off with Daniel Bryan. And again, Daniel Bryan brought the fight to Roman Reigns. He gave out a technical match. And he brought the action, guys. He brought the fight to Roman Reigns, and that is what I like to see. I like to see a technical match, and here Daniel Bryan is at the top spot. Again, we'll go with Drew McIntyre, and again, guys, I applaud both Drew McIntyre and Sheamus. They brought the fight again. What a match that was, guys. Absolutely perfect match. And again, other people have graded this match a -A on their websites or over on YouTube. But again, on this show, guys, we're unbiased. We don't favourite Raw and we don't favourite SmackDown. I just look at their performance, guys, and we'll go with the flow. Again, Drew McIntyre deserves the second spot here. He brought the fight. He gave everything to Sheamus. Sheamus even brought the fight. What a match, guys. We saw some total extreme action here on FastLane, and it was absolutely done to perfection. What a match. Again, Roman Reigns in third place. And again, both Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns produced a unbelievable match. Unbelievable match. I knew something was going to go down in that match with Jey Uso. And again, that is my thoughts there, guys. I knew there was going to be some interruption to prevent Daniel Bryan from winning the title from Roman Reigns. Daniel Bryan deserved to win that fight. He deserved to win the title from Roman Reigns. Honestly, guys. But that did not happen on the night. I was hoping Daniel Bryan would have won that match, but we all knew Vince's boy Roman Reigns was going to win that match. Randy Orton then in fourth place. And again, the segment displayed, it was done to perfection, guys. It showed the fear in Randy Orton's eye. You could feel how scared Randy Orton was when the Fiend was presented in front of him. When the Fiend emerged and the Fiend returned, you saw that fear in Randy Orton's eye. And that is what I love, guys. That's what I enjoyed here. It was done to perfection. I really enjoyed it, and it was fantastic. Sheamus in fifth place. Again, what I said with the Drew McIntyre and Sheamus deserved an A-grade match. And on the Contenders Corner, we gave this match a 4.2. Fantastic match. Fantastic. It was done to perfection, guys. There was a lot of extreme action, and it was an enjoyable match. One of the matches that I would rewatch, guys. It was that good. And again, the superstar of the night. We all know that, guys. It is the Fiend. Everybody is talking about it on Instagram. Everyone's talking about it on Twitter. Everyone's talking about it across YouTube. We saw the memes, guys. They're all over Facebook. They're everywhere on social media. The Fiend looks like an evil, burning zombie. And again, fantastic. The Fiend looks more evil than ever before. And, guys, that wrestling attire is absolutely amazing. Amazing. If the Fiend's first attire wasn't done to perfection, guys, and it didn't look amazing, then this one is even more crazier. It looks absolutely stunning, guys. Absolutely amazing. And again, the Fiend is our superstar of the night as he emerged from the ring to assist Alexa Bliss in the victory. Alexa Bliss pushed Randy Orton in front of the Fiend, and the Fiend loses his control and goes after Randy Orton to deliver a Sister Abigail on Randy Orton. And again, Alexa Bliss pins Randy Orton for the 3 count. What a show, guys. Absolutely amazing. One of the better pay-per-views for this year. And again, fantastic. What a pay-per-view, guys. And we'll give this pay-per-view a 4 out of 5. Fantastic. I love the Fiend returning. Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus. Fantastic match. Daniel Bryan versus Roman Reigns. unbelievable, impressive, fantastic. Seth Rollins versus Mustafa Ali. No, Seth Rollins versus Nakamura. That was awesome, guys. It was enjoyable. Unbelievable match. Big E versus Apollo Crews. Deserved a lot more time, but it was a good match. Again, fantastic. And Matt Riddle versus Mustafa Ali. What a good first match I've seen in a pay-per-view. Impressive. It was an impressive first show match, guys. To start the show, it was incredible. But again, this is the Contenders Corner, and we will be back again, guys. We'll see you on the next one.